In this video, I'm going to walk you through the best mortgage lenders for CIS workers in 2025, including options if your credit history isn't so great. So I'm David Sharpstone, a specialist mortgage broker for self-employed construction workers who are paid through the CIS scheme. So let's get into it. First off, what is a CIS mortgage? So if you're paid through the construction industry scheme, you're classed as self-employed, and that can make proving your income a little bit more challenging. So a CIS mortgage is designed specifically with that in mind. And instead of needing years and years of tax returns, some lenders will work straight off of your CIS payslips, which could be a massive help if you're fairly new to self-employment or your income varies month to month. Now, let's look at the top high street lenders who are CIS friendly. So Halifax is a great option. They'll take your last 3 months of gross CIS income, then they get to annualize it, and then base your affordability on 46 weeks of earnings, assuming that you might take some time off during the year. Skipton Building Society, well, they do something very similar, but they're a bit more generous, and they'll assume that you're going to work 48 weeks of the year, which could significantly boost what you can borrow. The upside to using Skipton and Halifax is they work really well for affordability if you've got 3 really strong months of earnings at work. But on the flip side, well, if you've just come back after Christmas or a 2-week holiday, then this is going to have a significant impact on your earnings. Then there's Natwest, who can take a slightly different approach because they're going to look at your income over a full 12-month period. And they're happy to accept 100% of your gross CIS earnings, even if you've worked for multiple companies. And just as a heads up, they don't like gaps of more than 4 weeks between jobs. By using a lender that takes the last 12 months of CIS earnings is really helpful if you've had gaps in your income, because it's going to iron out those creases where you've taken time off, and it's going to give the lender a clear indication of your true earning capability over a 12-month period. But it does also mean that you need a 12-month history of CIS work compared to only 3 months with Halifax. Generation Home is also one to watch, especially if you're a first-time buyer. They've got a clever option that lets a family member join your application to boost your borrowing power without affecting the stamp duty position. So what if you've got some credit issues? No worries. There are still some lenders who still might be able to help you. Pepper Money is brilliant if you've got a few credit blips in the past. They'll want to see your last 3 months of CIS payslips. And as long as your credit issues aren't too recent, it can be quite flexible. And the same goes for Kensington Mortgage Company as well. They also use a rolling 12 months of income and are often more understanding than your typical high street bank. But just bear in mind, anything within the last 6 months might still be a problem. And finally, let's not forget the smaller building societies. They often take a more manual approach to lending, which can work in your favor if your situation doesn't quite fit the typical boxes. Tipton Building Society is one of the more flexible ones, and they might say no to recent defaults or CCJs, but if it's just a lower credit score or something quite minor, they're definitely one that's worth taking a look at. The Saffron Building Society is another good option, and they don't rely so heavily on automated systems, so they're going to take an overall look at your financial picture and not just do what the computer says. So let me give you my final thoughts. The mortgage market for CIS workers is always changing, so make sure you're getting the latest, most up-to-date advice before you apply for a mortgage. And as of April 2025, the lenders that I've mentioned in this video, they're great options out there if you're paid through the CIS scheme. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps us grow, and I really appreciate that. And I'd recommend you watch my next video, which is a complete guide to CIS mortgages in the UK. Thanks for watching.